This lesson is if you seek your path, you will find it. And it is encouraging you to expand further than healed mind therapy. So, healed mind therapy is applying our psychological skills like cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, and affirmation, mirror work, all of those things with the philosophy of healed mind therapy. But the core of healed mind therapy is that there's one universal truth. And be able to find that from within and resonate with it, which you do if you're in this course, it means that you're tapped into the truth. And when we know that we are all equal, that we are all lovable, we are all innocent, we're all doing our best, and attack is never justified in any form. And you've tasted what it's like to release grievances. You've tasted that when you shift your perception about somebody from attack thoughts to compassion, that you have a deep sense of peace and self love and compassion for yourself. And it really does change everything in your world. When we're able to do this work on that level, and we get those little glimpses of deep peace, or we don't react the way we used to, and or we are even reacting the way we used to, but then we're able to correct it shortly after. Those changes is what fuels us to say, okay, I want more. I want to be completely invulnerable in the world in every situation. I never want to suffer. And in order to achieve that, we need to be rewiring and reconditioning of the mind as much as possible. So we have affirmations, we have mirror work, and those things are wonderful. Another tool that we can use is being able to seek outside of healed mind therapy and seek in finding the course in other areas. So because it is based on universal truths, you're going to find it in other teachers besides in healed mind therapy. I'm not the only one. There's many different languages that we can use, or even religious perceptions or lenses in which we can use to tap into this. But anything that teaches love, forgiveness, treating others the way you'd want to be treated, all of those are the core concepts of healed mind therapy. But what can happen is if you expand into doing your own research and going a little bit further, you will go as far as you're open to. So if you have the ears to hear, you will hear it. If you don't, you won't. So that means that if you get to a place where you're having resistance, or you listen to something and it's not flowing and it sounds kind of awkward, it's not for you. It's either not for you, that's not your path to understand in that way, or it's you're not ready for that. So one of the experiences I've had in transforming, my own personality and my own way of being in the world and my perception is that I found that sometimes things would resonate. Eckhart Tolle is a wonderful example for this. He is somebody that resonates as someone who speaks the truth, but there's been different periods in my path and I haven't actually been able to listen to him. And then at other times I was really pulled to him. So being able to find what your path is, your specific path is. Now, sometimes people have religious trauma, and that's something that we actually do address in therapy if it comes up that they have religious trauma. Religious trauma looks like being taught fear and judgment in religion in order to get you to behave morally or to have some outcome that your parents or the minister or priest or imams or any of the church leaders or the religious leaders feel like is going to get the outcome that they want from you. And ultimately, the outcome that is going to be the most loving is, of course, what we want, but we can't get there through force or from fear, or if you're this, you're going to go to hell, or you're a sinner, I'm going to judge you, or I'm going to ostracize you or shame you. That actually doesn't work. And that's one of the core things that we learn in healed mind therapy is attacking people doesn't make them more loving. It actually causes them to be hurting more. So when we do this undoing, part of it is sometimes looking at some of the religious influences, if that was, we had exposure to that. And sometimes we weren't exposed to any religion or spirituality. So being able to find that truth from within us, that we're all equal, that we're all lovable, that forgiveness is the path, and forgiveness in the sense of not that I pardon you, but forgiveness in the sense of seeing the innocence in everyone else. So I'm going to encourage you, this video is to encourage you to continue to seek outside of yourself. I'm going to be posting a bunch of different videos that are in alignment with some of the healed mind therapy thoughts. They include Taoism, the Stoicism, so that's the accept things within your control, outside of your control, and take action within your control, as well as some mysticism. So mysticism is a term that we use for being connected to the all, or to something greater. So Jesus would be considered a mystic when he said, I and my Father are one. So this idea that we can't be separate from the all or even from each other. We experience mysticism or a form of that in meditation when this idea of our individual self kind of can dissolve. And if you haven't had that kind of meditation, that's no problem. That doesn't mean anything. But being able to start opening yourself up to concepts and ideas, if you're ready for that, to push you a little bit further and to reinforce for yourself that there's meaning and purpose to your life and suffering. That this is not random. You're here to evolve consciousness. You're here to be love in the world and to heal every part of you that's less than loving. And that's why we suffer. So just start seeking. I guess the point of this is to just start seeking. Look at some of the videos. They're all YouTube videos. There is going to be a playlist as well that's going to have all of them on it if you want to just kind of peruse them. And you only have to listen to a few seconds to be able to kind of get an idea of, is this for me? If it's not, go on to the next one. See where you land. Maybe it's Stoicism, maybe it's Taoism, maybe it's Christian mysticism, maybe it's Sufism, maybe, it's just exploring near-death experiences or even the idea of reincarnation and the purpose and meaning of our lives, right? So being able to just open yourself up to, what is my path? Where do I want to go? Where am I being led to? And allow your pulse within you to be an indicator of what's for you right now. And if you're feeling resistance, don't force it. There's nothing required of you to do healed mind therapy. Healed mind therapy, it doesn't focus on any religion, but it is open to all of them, when they hold the lens of love. So when they're holding the lens that we treat others the way we want to be treated, that we can choose peace and we can choose to be light in the world. That's what resonates. So whether you are a religious person or you're not, healed mind therapy is for everybody. But this lesson is particularly to continue to seek. And when you watch the video, if you find the one that resonates for you, look at the recommendations that come up on the right side of the screen, and be able to just kind of flow into, oh, that one looks interesting. See where you're pulled, see where it goes, because it will expand out. Now, if none of the videos resonate for you, there's nothing wrong with that. You can just focus on healed mind therapy. And at some point, you might feel pulled to other stuff. One of the benefits of being open to more content is, as much as this course has a lot of content, you can spend more than this amount of time that you're spending with healed mind therapy reconditioning your mind. And I think it came up in our office hours. We had somebody share that they listen to these videos over and over again. You can do that, and you can also expand further and listen to things that are a little bit more open than I do in this course. And the reason for it, why I don't go too open, is because different people are pulled in different ways at different times, and it's not going to be for everyone. So I try to keep the course generalized so it will resonate on a certain level for everybody that's pulled to it. So of course it is specific and separate from what conventional thinking is. It's very different in that sense, but it doesn't push you too far if you're not quite ready for that. By exploring, it'll give you the ability to be open to seeking your path fully and seeing where it takes you. So being open to that. So good luck with opening yourself up to being led to where you're supposed to be. And the guide is always, if it's speaking love, it's in alignment with the truth. If it's teaching fear, it's a distortion, and it's something to continue past. So if you do run into something when you're seeking and it's making you feel fearful, or it has attack thoughts, or it's blaming or attacking anybody, that's an indicator that it's not part of the path that's going to bring you the most peace. And it's not to judge it, but just to allow that and say, okay, that's a distortion. Somebody's hurting and doesn't know what to do. That's expressing that. All right. Wish you peace.